Hello and welcome to Only Frames and welcome to another Division 1 matchup. Today sees Chris versus Gary. It's a Division 1 matchup and it's game on. Gary immediately shows us a loo ball as Chris comes to the table dressed in black, which is ironic as I'll be playing this video at my funeral, so people are jealous of me being the one in the coffin. But Chris at the table here, it looks like he could clear early and take a 1-0 lead. Both of these players are currently undefeated in Division 1 while Tom sits top of the tree. Will he be the eventual winner though? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you believe is going to win Division 1? There is no wrong answers, but if there is, I'll happily give you the right answer in our next video. Now, Chris is making light work of these so far, and he is our most likely player on the channel to dish. This guy can pot, although he can't play position, and he is going to need to play one positional shot if he is going to take these balls out. He assures me that every shot is within this video today, meaning that I believe it's going to be 5-0 either way, as these two players are not quick players like Tom, like Joe, and like the good players, like Lou the dog. Chris got lucky there with that red holding the cue ball when it looked like it was going to sit in behind him. Can he pot this yellow ball? He duly does. This is for 1-0 within a minute. As we move on to frame 2, I can only apologise for that clearance in the first frame. We're the home of below average 8-ball pool content. That's why you keep watching, not because we make clearances, so I can only apologise and only hope and pray that the standard drops dramatically as this game goes on. This is a Division 1 matchup, but don't be fooled by that title. We're forever asked, oh, how is this Division 1? How are these players in Division 2? There's only 2 divisions and we are absolutely terrible. But Gary looks like he could clear these. This is a real opportunity, although he's pushed that yellow onto the red. He gets down on it, which isn't the first time. I'll be saying that throughout the day. And he completely misses it. And to compound his misery, he creates a loo ball. Gary never disappoints when it comes to disappointing, but he can take solace in the fact that that shot could appear on our worst shots of the month compilation, which is available to vote for on our TikTok, on our Instagram and on our YouTube shorts, with the usernames appearing on the screen now. By the power of editing, they are our channels. Hit us up, don't forget to like and subscribe and see all the challenges that we undertake on a regular basis. Do not worry, there will not be too many clearances or above average pool on these social media platforms. Although Chris today is trying to do his best to ensure we lose our tag as the worst pool playing channel on the internet. Now only 2 reds remain between him and the 8-ball and a 2-0 lead. These won't be easy. The transition from one red to the other was always going to be the problem. Now from this last red to the 8 isn't the easiest in the world. One of the pockets is blocked, the middle pocket where he could have just run off the 2 cushions to get him behind it, but now he's going to need to get creative. Does he have this shot in his locker? Little bit of check off the cushion, that's not bad. He's waving it on, get away from the cushion. This isn't as easy as he thought it might be. A little bridge and he's on the cushion. These are missable, but I fancy Chris to pot it. Will he confirm my suspicions? No, he can't. He melts like an ice cream in the desert, giving Gary a real good opportunity to level this match up when all looked lost. Can he take it out though? How will he deal with the pressure of playing in Division 1? This is Gary's first season. We are yet to see what he's like when he's up against it. This yellow to the middle, natural position when he brings a cue ball down, but he's overhit it and he's missed a pot, but he is a lucky swine and gets a stitch. Is this a 1 cushion escape or a little swerve? Chris could pot it if he hits it just off the side rail to come now. He hits it, but he can't pot it, giving Gary another chance. Will he eventually take it? You can't keep giving Chris opportunities. Eventually he will pot. Chris told me that all the shots of this game were going to be in the video. I didn't realise some would be as bad as they have been though. Now Gary taking on this yellow, just a 1 to go after this, but he's put side on it. He's come the wrong side of the yellow. These are rookie mistakes. I wouldn't expect Lou the dog to be making them, and he is in Division 2. This is a lot trickier than it needed to be. Gonna take this yellow to the middle. It looks knuckle bound and it duly hits the knuckle, giving Chris his 4th attempt to try and win this frame. I'm pretty sure he won't miss this one. This guy normally gobbles them up. Can he do so now? No, he can't. What is going on? This is meant to be Division 1. This is embarrassing. And this is why we are known as the worst pool content provider on the internet. Gary given the simplest of chances to make it 1-1. Even Brad could take these out. 8 to the bottom left as we move on to the third frame. It's 1-1. We move on to the third frame with Gary breaking as the scores remain all square. Now this time he's kept the cue ball on the table, giving himself a chance for an unlikely clearance on the Only Frames channel. He decides he's going to play the yellows, taking that one to the bottom left. And immediately you look at the table, you think they're all there, as my best mate Scott would say whenever he's on comms. But can Gary hold his nerve and take these out? You'd say the problem ball was a yellow by those reds on the right hand side. Can he get onto that ball early and then take out the rest of them? He's lost that cue ball slightly. He'll be disappointed. He's a sigh in there as he walks away. But it looks like this yellow may go. I didn't think it would, but he's playing on it. If he can pot this is a real chance. And he gets the cue ball away from that cluster. But that red come off the cushion to go near his 1 by the 8. Can it still pot into the middle? He looked, he pondered, and as he takes this ball, I assume it must. A little screw back here. No, he's gone up to that one. Does this yellow go? It probably doesn't go in the middle, so he's going to take it bottom right-hand pocket. This is now developing to a real opportunity. And for Gary to take the lead, Chris hasn't been behind too many times on Only Frames. Could Chris finally lose? Is this the day we have all been praying for? Come on, Gary. You can do it, man. You can do it. Absolutely great shot there by Gary, and he's developed the 8. This for 2-1. This for the lead. Is the day finally here as we move on to the full frame, and Chris is to break. The pressure's on and he finds a loo ball. As Gary comes to the table, I wonder what his mindset will be. Will he be buzzing because he's just cleared the table? Or will the weight of expectation be weighing heavy on him now that he's ahead? He's 2-1 to the good. It's first to 5, but a draw remains on the table as we only play best of 8. As Gary sinks that yellow to the bottom left-hand pocket, it gets me wondering, what are stupid 8-ball pool rules that currently exist that you would like to change? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Now, I'm not one for all of this. You need to pot your colour, but only when you got one shot. And after this and after, it's a bloody annoying. Let's get that rule sorted. Either do the break and nominate or first ball pot it. Regardless, all these restrictions around when it's potted and if it's potted and how many shots you have when it pots. That annoys me. The advantage should be with the person who pots the ball first. That's just my take. But what are the rules that you would like to change? As Gary looks as though he wants to clear these up again, but he can't find the double, giving Chris a chance to get to the table and just settle down a bit. How will Chris fare now that he is behind? We haven't seen this too many times on Only Frames. Will he melt under the pressure, or will he up his game to the next level? We haven't seen it often. Will we see it today? He's going to look to develop that red, but he's not queuing nicely. If anything, he's made it harder than it was before. Chris is currently stood back from the table. He's chalking his cue and he's thinking it through, when normally he just walks to the table, pots the ball and hopes that he's on the next one. He doesn't have to overthink things. Will this start to slow him down as the game goes on? Will he get out of his potting rhythm? Chris is doing well in life at the moment. He's got a new girlfriend who takes his breath away. But that's because she's inflatable. But can he inflate his performance when he's up against it? He's got onto his tricky ball and he's left a nice angle to take out the 2 yellows after he sinks this one up to the top left. He's looking at the angle he would need to leave, but he won't be anywhere near that. I can assure you of that now. As he looks to send this one top left, can he keep his composure? Yes, he can, and to be fair to him, he was pretty close to where he was aiming, where he queued up off the ball. Now, what will he do? Little screw shot, little stun, little run through. How is he going to play it? Little stun across. Where does this 8-ball go, though? Is he going to have to screw in and take it bottom right? That's what I would guess. No, he rolls it in. It obviously went bottom left. What do I know? I'm only top of the league. This to make it Desmond. He sinks it bottom left. It's 2-2 as we move on to the 5th frame. Now, so far today, this match has been full of drama, and will it continue to provide that? Is Chris now at the table after Gary comes up dry, and he'll be looking to pot a red to secure that colour as this game goes on? He's played that first one into the middle, leaving this one to the top left. This will all be about position. He does have a tricky ball on the left-hand side of the table, just above that cluster of the three yellows. If he can get that out, then once again, this is a real chance. He'll fancy clearing these up, but he needs to get that ball out early, I'm sure. He won't want to leave that till last. It looks like he's left the angle. He could play the lower one of the reds and sort of stun across and develop them up. He might even be able to do it off the top red. I wouldn't have played it like that. And that is why. That's why I'm top of the league, and Chris will never be that. That is why I am going to be the new king of Only frames this year. Now, what's Chris going to look to come up with? I'd be trying to pot, but he's turned into Scott and is playing a safety. Embarrassing. Get out, get out, get out. As Gary comes to the table playing the yellow balls, and he'll be looking to move Chris's red away from that middle pocket first of all, which he does, but he'd like to move it further. He'd like to bump it onto the cushion, and now Gary's at the table. He'll need to clear that bottom left-hand pocket at the earliest attempt, as he misses one bottom right. He's covering pockets himself. We have two Scots at the table. Can Chris see any part of this red? If he hits it, it could drop, but he's managed to hit it hard enough to get the cue ball out of there. I thought it might get stuck and him snooker himself, but he's played it pretty well. I will give him that. But once again, he's overthinking things. We don't normally see this from Chris. Is he feeling okay? I mean, it hasn't hindered him so far, but as the game goes on, will it start to take his toll on him? But all of a sudden, he could be leading 3-2, just as simple as the roll-ins. That one to the left middle, this one to the right, for Chris to make it 3-2, which he duly does as we move on to the sixth frame with Chris at the table, and it's Chris to break. And most importantly, he keeps the cue ball on the table, sinks two reds, giving himself the chance for another clearance, which isn't great for our target audience as we offer below average 8-ball pool content. Hopefully Chris misses nice and early so we don't disappoint our fans, which he does, but it's still an open table. Gary will be looking to become these reds. He needs to pot one of them to secure the colour. They are perfect. I would not want to be yellows in this frame. Just ensure you pot a red ball. It doesn't matter what else happens, but he doesn't pot one. He misses the three-way plant, and he couldn't fluke one down to the bottom left. Least he has split them all up rather than them all being over the pocket as they were. But Chris still fancies these red balls. He's going to look to take this one bottom left. The 8 ball just about passes the cue ball so that Chris can continue this, so that he could find that one to the bottom left-hand pocket. But this isn't as easy as it once was. He'll look to cut this back, but position isn't going to come easily. Chris will have no idea where the cue ball's going as he duly sinks it for a change. I know what I'm talking about. That was a loo ball. That was absolutely shocking by Chris and just shows he never plays any form of position. Now Gary is at the table. He's playing the yellow balls, which he wouldn't have wanted, only 2 shots to go, but now things have changed. This is a real chance. He's got the inside ball over 2 of the middle pockets, which is a great position to be in within this frame, but can he hold his nerve? He looked to pull that one off the cushion, which he does very nicely. I'll give credit where it's due, but all of a sudden, this isn't prime position. Once again, Gary won't know where the cue ball's going when he tries to pot this. He sinks it, plays it pretty nicely, swings it round off the 2 cushions, but bumps a red into his yellow. Now he's made it more tricky than it would have been only a shot ago. Does it still go? He gets down on it, so I think it must do, but he's having second thoughts. He's second guessing himself. The cannon appears to have blocked it, so he's going to take this one long instead, but he can't pot it. He finds a jaws, it wipes its feet, giving Chris a chance to get back to the table. This one definitely goes bottom left, but where does the red go in the other middle of the table? Does it go anywhere? It must go in the middle because he's only rolled the cue ball back slightly. From nowhere, Chris looks like he's going to be 4-2 up. He's defying the odds. He looked up against it, but now he's cruising to victory. 8 ball bottom left as we move on to the 7th frame, and Gary is breaking. This has been a real humdinger of a game today. I mean, it's currently 4-2 Chris, but that scoreline could easily be reversed. It could be 4-2 Gary if only he'd taken his chances. Now all of a sudden he needs to win the 2 remaining frames just to secure himself a point. But that won't be easy against a player of Chris's calibre. He won the league last season. He has a winning mentality. And can he get himself over the line? Although he misses that yellow to the bottom right hand pocket, giving Gary a chance playing those red balls to try and win a frame. He's talking to Chris. The table must actually be open. Chris didn't take the reds, although they were there. But this time Gary decides to take the yellows. I'm surprised. Personally, I wouldn't have taken them. I think reds are the better ball. Not necessarily in the positions they're in, but they're in frame winning positions. You got those cluster over the left hand side that you'd like to think that you could work with. Something that not necessarily you could clear, but you wouldn't lose a frame from in the single visit like you would against reds. Chris could clear these now. He's got the one tricky ball, that's it. He's looking to get it out now, but although he hits it, he doesn't nudge it out far enough. But he'll get another opportunity to come to that, I'm sure, as this frame unfolds. Now, Chris is just giving himself a minute here to work out how he can get onto that tricky ball. Can he get rid of it nice and early? I think he's going to roll this one in and try and take it early doors. And all of a sudden, if he pots this is a real frame winning opportunity. But he'll need to get a good cue ball. He'll need to get on one of those reds on the left-hand side. He needs a bit of luck here for sure, but he can't quite find it. Has he left any pathway? I don't think he has. I don't think he can get through there. He's looked at it. He's looked at it again. I'm not sure what he's going to play here. Maybe some form of double. No, he looked to flick off the red. That's a lovely shot. That could feature in our best shots of the month compilation, which also is available on our Instagram, our TikTok and our YouTube shorts. Is that a frame winning shot there from Chris? I don't think it is, because I don't think he's got the angle. Even if he pots this ball to get on his last one, he was trying to force it. Can he fluke it? No, he can't. This is now or never for Gary. He's coming back to the tables, but these yellows aren't perfect. This is all about the transitions between shots. Oh, and he almost misses that yellow. The pressure's really starting to tell now. He has got lucky with position though. He hit that too thin. But now, this roll into the middle. He's gone. He's absolutely lost his head. The pressure Chris has been putting him under has proved to be too much as this game has wore on. Can Chris see that red over the top right hand pocket? If he can, you'll fancy him to pot these two. Now just a one red remains and then the 8 ball to win this match 5-2. It's been a great battle. It's been a great game. But once again, the story is, as it always is on Only Frames, Chris, when it matters, has delivered a victory. He's played well, not his best, but he's done enough to win the game as they shake hands.